Well, hello, this is Jeff Gaudiosi, and you're on misplacedstraws.com, where music comes to life. My guests today are part of a crushing new hard rock band from Minneapolis named FuZZrd. They're all veterans of the Minneapolis scene and have come together to continue that scene's tradition of guitar-driven rock with thought-provoking lyrics. Please welcome singer and guitarist Brett Petrusek and drummer Scott Savage. Welcome, guys.
Greetings.
Thank
Hello.
you.
Thank you.
So first off, give a little bit of a history of the band. Brett, I know you and bassist Robert Berg, you guys are in the band Down Tread together, but how did the four of you come together for FuZZrd?
Sure. Well, Rob and I have been together for quite some time. We've been buddies with Scott for years and shared stages together in different bands, and have always had kind of a good solid friendship. And Scott and I would just kind of get together from time to time over maybe the past 5 years or so. I think that's about right, Scott. And we would just get together for fun and riff it out and slug out some riffs. And it was always like really a prolific thing by the time we were done. And we'd always, kind of walk in and, we'd have a riff, but we'd instantly kind of start arranging it and turn it into something that, really felt like a composition. And naturally, like, we just kept doing this, and it came so easy. And I would say maybe, Rob had jammed with us a couple of times, and we started getting back together kind of pre-pandemic, and, wrote some more songs, again, all just like kind of in the spirit of just being creative. Really liked what we were hearing. Rob came along to play bass. We brought Eric in, a good friend of ours from another band or two right now as well. And it just kind of took on a life of its own. And I guess when the pandemic came, it just seemed so natural to say, let's do this and let's come out on the other side with something awesome that we're proud of. Just, looking at everything as an opportunity.
So were you guys, as you were coming together in the midst of the pandemic and the shutdowns, were you able as a four-piece to get together in person and play, or were you doing a lot of this virtually?
Initially, we were together before it happened. When it first kind of hit, everybody backed off a bit, of course, right? Because nobody knew it was going to hit everybody upside the head, kind of crazy. And it didn't make sense at first, but eventually, when things got a little more under control, maybe a couple months in, we decided, let's do this. And we kind of forged into it. We never ran vocals. We all were kind of pretty responsible about knowing where we were in our own social bubbles. What was there to do? Nothing. I mean, we're just home with our families. So we knew, hey, if this is our social bubble and we can stay far enough away from each other in a space that afforded us the opportunity to do so, it was great. And we kind of rolled the dice and, kind of snuck in together and made it work. So that was it. Really didn't start running vocals till recently, though, at rehearsals, because I think that was the big thing. If you're singing all over the place, you're spitting on everybody. So, good way to spread something, right? But I'm glad we did. So
We took advantage of this downtime and to write some music and this band just came together. But we took advantage of this downtime and we played and we wrote. So we've been having fun.
Well, that's why. And as you guys are creating, I mean, musically, is the music a collaboration of all of you? And Brett, then do you go and put the lyrics to it?
It's a little bit of both. There are songs that come together from the four of us playing in the room together. It kind of always starts with the track first for me. There's songs that come together for me and Scott playing together solo. There's, a song that's got some of Eric's riffs on it. And then there's, the 100% Brett songs where I might demo something up at home, hand it off to the guys. with a solid interpretation of what the song is, but everybody comes in and kind of puts their signature spin on it, and it becomes FuZZrd, and that's the magic. On occasion, I have lyrics first, but really, I got to get inspired by what I'm hearing. And then, it's kind of an interesting thing. Like Scott and I have a kind of a cool partnership on this creative thing where he gives me all these working song titles. And it's about getting that spark. Like I'll be working on a demo and, I need a title for the song. He just sends me lists of these like crazy awesome titles. And a lot of times I can listen to the riff and just go, hey, this sounds like that. And boom, and that becomes the spark for me. So it's kind of a neat little thing we have that, just makes some of the things kind of roll together. So.
Well, it's funny. A few months back, I was chatting with Tom Brislin of Kansas, and he was talking about their last record. And it's funny because he would say that Phil Earhart, the drummer, would throw out all of the song titles, and it would be their job to write a song with that title. So it seems to be something that works for bands.
Yeah, it works for me, right?
Yeah, it works for us. Yeah.
And now I mentioned in the intro, you guys are from Minneapolis, and that city has just a great rock history and scene. I mean, of course, with Prince and bands like The Replacement and Soul Asylum and The Hold Steady and many others. And it always seemed to me that when you get a city that has that type of a music scene, there's always a thread that runs through the bands. And for me, with the Minneapolis bands, it's always that combination of great loud guitars and lyrics that really make you take a step back and think about them. I mean, for you guys growing up there and being part of that scene, what does the Minneapolis music scene mean to you?
I'll let you go on this first.
Yeah, Prince was a big influence on me growing up, and I was fortunate enough to see him quite a few times live over the years, and I was always amazed by the musicians that he had around him and the musicianship. That's what I think about first, when I think about the Minneapolis scene. I mean, he was all about, the Minneapolis scene, and the musicianship, there's a lot of good clubs here. There's been a lot of historical shows here. Soul Asylum, a big name here.
And for me, like, I'm a transplant. I'm a Chicago native, so kind of came here a little bit later. I'm hard rock through and through. Like, that's where the big heavy probably comes from with us. But I'm a huge Dave Pirner fan. I love his vocals.
He's an amazing writer.
Yeah, his tone, his writing, and all that. And that's interesting, 6 degrees of separation, because our producer engineer Jeremy Taparo is the bass player in Soul Asylum.
Okay.
So I kind of get to live vicariously through him, because I just love Pirner's tone. My top 5 with singers is kind of all over the place, but he's definitely up there for me. So I never really thought of Minneapolis as like hard rock heavy, though. When you said you think of big driving guitars, maybe you're thinking more so not in that hard rock context, or?
Well, I'm thinking like The Hold Steady and Soul Asylum in particular, got some crunch to them. Not necessarily hard rock, but there's some power behind it. Oh, hang on. It actually looks like we have somebody crashing our Zoom call. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah.
Hey there, guys. Hold on one second. Get my headphones here.
We have a special guest joining the call, a man that needs little introduction, Mr. Mark Slaughter.
I
Mark,
need a lot of
welcome.
introduction. What's up?
What's up?
All right.
Zoom crasher.
Yeah, Zoom crasher. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
one headphones. I'm like, where are my headphones? Oh yeah, it's because that's my phone headphones. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I've never had a special guest in an interview before, so
there you go.
this is pretty
Awesome.
cool. But first of all, now, why don't you guys explain why Mark has joined us and your new song Viral Connection?
It was a gift from the universe. So really, Eric, our guitarist, had met Mark through the industry, and they were talking shop. And Mark, he showed you some of the music, and I think Mark and I got to talking about just, with his years of experience in the industry, just sharing some ideas for best practices and, what we could do best to get this out to people the right way. And, thinking about when a band is self-produced and they're not necessarily on a label yet or whatever it is, like, some steps. And one thing kind of led to another. And we had this song Viral Connection. The chorus vocal was a little wild and crazy the way it moves around. And we were just kind of stuck trying to find the right harmony parts for it. Nothing really worked right. And I kind of hit you up and said, what would you do here? And then we went guitar crazy. And
yeah, because I sent the tracks with guitar instead of doing the vocal because I didn't know the lyrics. I just did the melody of what I heard on the guitar, and he's like, that's cool. Well, what else you got? And then at the very end of the song, I did this real quick solo, and he's like, I'm not touching it. So it was just kind of like one of those things that it just kind of, they already had the body of the song. It was already there. I mean, they could have mixed it and it would have sounded great without me, but it was great to be a part of it and to add my 5 cents. And I think at the end of the day, I think it's a pretty kicking track, and it's as I always say, it's a modern sounding with the classic sensibility. I mean, it's a key point that we're all looking for as rockers. That's what we like. We like to go back into it, but we still like we like new sounds and better quality recordings, and that's what these guys are doing.
And Mark, for you, is there really a sense of satisfaction too with all you've accomplished to kind of helping out a band that's getting started, and not only helping them by being on the song, but kind of being there as a voice for them to bounce ideas off of?
Well, I think that their direction was already, a lot of bands don't have their direction and everything. These guys have the, they did a video and had tracks way before I even got involved. So it's not like I'm really stepping in and steering the ship. I think it's just one of those things of, hey, what would you do? And it's just a little bit of where I came from into that one song. But these guys have it going on, even for what I'm not involved with. Their stuff is great. It sounds great. And, I think that's a key point with music in general, is that if it moves you, then it's right. And, I certainly felt that way when I heard, the track that they didn't even, talk to me about. So, I love to help new bands, yes, but these guys, it's like they're an established band already without even having, been together. They've all been through those circles and got knocked around in other situations. And I think this is just a perfect scenario for this band, that they've got a good product and it sounds great. It really does.
And Scott and Brett, for you guys, what does it mean for you as you're getting this band off the ground to have somebody like Mark there supporting you, and honestly too, to have his name attached to this amazing song and video that you guys put out?
It's fantastic to have Mark involved, just to have that outside perspective that's just once removed too. It's not just our producer, but it's somebody even a step away further from the band that can look at things objectively. And his musical contributions to the songs are great, but I guess I'm comfortable saying on a friendship level, this has been great. And we have a lot of great stories to talk about, and and things in common, you know, all things guitar in common for sure.
Right.
Having a platinum selling artist associated with your band when you're getting it off the ground doesn't suck, but above and beyond Mark, his fan base, you know, he's a good dude. He attracts good people. His fans are fabulous, and they've been so supportive of us. And I just think it's kind of neat. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we got so lucky with Mark's involvement here, and it has been exciting. You know, I was a fan back in the day, so the history, his experience that he brings, it means a lot, and what he says about our band, and what he thinks about our music, it means a lot. In these conversations that he's been having with Brett, really just I mean, he says that we kind of got it going on, but just his reinforcement based on the history that he's had. I mean, it really means a lot, his involvement.
It's energizing.
Yeah. Well, these guys already have, I mean, their sound is great. I mean, the videos that they did were quality. I mean, you know, again, it's just nice with like-minded people. I think that's really what you do, is you find like-minded people that share, you know, dance the same way you do, and then it works out great. I mean, I love the way the track turned out, and you know what these guys go forward. They, you know, they have a lot of other material without me that's fantastic, and you know, I you know, tip a hat to them and say right on, and you know, do your thing. I love to see good music rise to the top. And that's what I'm hoping to see for these guys.
And, you know, when we started the interview, I was talking to these guys, or mentioning how over the course of a pandemic, they began to put this band together.
Right.
Mark, how have you been spending your year of not being able
same
to tour?
same type of stuff. I mean, I was sitting here and I had the chance to, like, hey, well, send me over a thing. I'll work on this. So it's kind of like, you know, in that side of it, look, an artist makes art. And that's one of the things, you know, look, it's hard to be in the music business because it's the music business, not the music fun. You still need to make money in it. But at the same time, if you're an artist, other people's art and interpretation excite you. And that's exactly what I'm getting with these guys, is their music excites me. And I go, oh yeah, man, that's invigorating. And, you know, it's like, you know, it lights me up. So, you know, I've done that with these guys. I've done a thing with the band called Seven Angels where I played some guitar on it. I've done a Mark Craney project, who is a drummer for Jethro Tull and also for Gino Vanelli. We've done a couple tributes with Joe Vanelli, and, you know, really musical, you know, like geeky stuff that I grew up with. But I just love that, you know, I have, my ears are all over the place. So I just love music, man. You know, I just love that vibe. So I'm doing everything.
And will we be seeing either a new solo record from you or a new Slaughter band record coming anytime soon?
Nothing with the band. Everybody has really been busy. I've been working with Mark Farner from Grand Funk on some writing, and I've done some production here with him, and what a talent. I mean, I've was a big fan, and still am a big fan of Mark and that music. And again, it's the music that really where I'm at right now, is if things really excite me with music, that's what you go back to, your love of music instead of just a paycheck. And I think that's really where what I'm trying to do as a musician, is to really rise that up and to pull that even out of Mark's stuff. I mean, I'm really ecstatic with some of the music we're coming out with right now. Could have easily been Grand Funk all day long, you know?
Well, it was funny. I just interviewed Mark maybe about 2 months ago, and he was talking about his collaboration with you. So it's cool to hear it from your side as well.
Yeah, he's a great talent.
Yeah.
Really is.
So now, FuZZrd, you guys have a couple of singles out now, a couple of videos. Any idea of when we'll see a full record from you?
Yeah, late summer. We're kind of on track for August, late August, maybe September. The album's basically complete now. It's just 2 songs we're finishing up I'm stuck on a couple things, so I'm probably going to call you, Mark.
I happen to, my rig is up and running. I'm good, man.
Yeah. So, but the whole idea was really just, you know, with the pandemic, like, let's take the opportunity to build the foundation on all the digital platforms the right way first, and really do this right, and release singles every 4 to 6 weeks to build some momentum and kind of anticipation for that release, rather than just come and throw our whole new album out and go, blah, here's our brand new band that you've never even heard of. This will give people time, you know, that's the intent, to get familiar with us along the way leading up to the album. And then there isn't a false start, you know, shows are coming back.
Yeah.
And hopefully it will just continue on that same trajectory. But if it doesn't, we didn't waste our opportunity. You know, we want to put the album out and start hitting it super hard when we release it, and not have to turn back. So.
And have you guys kind of put together any type of touring plans yet? Kind of moving out of the Midwest, you got to hit the coasts, or is it all still kind of remain to be seen?
So far, we've lined up a few shows that we haven't announced yet. There's 4. They're all pretty darn local. In Minnesota, maybe we'll get a little further out. But really, the focus has been stay on the mission, which is, let's make this album.
Rehearse.
Right.
Get the album sounding perfect, get the band sounding awesome, and you know, keep the plan going with the singles, keep releasing videos along the way. We're doing limited run merch in between each single, to kind of build up stock for ourselves, so when we go out and play, we have a pretty robust offering. And yeah, I'm gonna let the plan kind of let the water kind of find its way, if that makes sense. So.
And Mark, any plans for Slaughter to hit the road as things start opening up a little bit?
We're up and running. I mean, we're doing Lakes Jam, we're doing M3 Festival. We've got a lot of casino dates, and it all starts pretty much in June is when it all starts to kick off again. And you know, it looks like there's going to be quite a few shows coming down the pipeline. So, you know, it'd be nice to get out there and play again. I mean, we did a corporate an event over at one of the casinos that was just for Players Club only, and it was a 4,000 person venue, and then they had everybody wearing masks, and you know, it was all done proper. But you know, it's slowly opening up. So, you know, it's nice I think people are ready to get out and have a good time. We've all gone COVID crazy, and we're ready to, you know, turn it up and scream real loud. So it's going to be a good year, I think.
Looking forward to it. Well, we've been spending some time here with Brett and Scott from the band FuZZrd and special guest Mark Slaughter. Guys, first of all, thank all 3 of you for taking the time to do this. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Nice guitar collection you got over there.
Thank you very much.
I've been curious about your boat for a while, man.
Yeah. See, that's what we do. You know.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them back there. I build as well, so a lot of them are ones that I kind of made.
Do you build, or do you have a company that you work with?
No, I do it on my own. I usually buy the bodies pre-cut, and then I'll you know, get various electronics, and you know, what happens if I put this pickup in this guitar?
Oh, I know. Eddie Van Halen set us all down that rabbit hole.
Exactly.
Jeff, what is that first Les Paul that's staring us in the face right there?
The white one.
It's funny, it doesn't really show up well on camera, but it's all done. I went a little crazy on that one. It's complete gold glitter. The entire, so it really like sparkles and shines, and it has 2 replica Dan Electro lipstick humbuckers in it.
Oh
wow.
So it gives it like this weird 60s kind of crunch to it. It's a really fun guitar to play.
That's great. Yeah, that's I get that. I've done many guitars in my barn where I put them together, and sometimes I've had some wonderful turnouts, and sometimes I'm like, oh man, this thing has no mojo whatsoever.
Yeah, you pull everything out and start over again.
Exact. Part it out and get rid of this and try that. And I mean, that's the beauty of it. I think that, you know, it's kind of like a lawyer needs his books and guitar players need a lot of guitars. So here we are.
That's for sure. Well, guys, best of luck with the band. Again, the band is FuZZrd. You can catch the videos on YouTube or on their website. We'll have links in the interview. And just thank you so much. Best of luck with the band. And hopefully we'll catch you on the road when you guys hit Connecticut.
Absolutely. We'll be there soon.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.